This video is brought to you by True Tales of Buried Treasure, the largest collection of old treasure magazines in the West. On our website, you can search for individual treasure stories by region, or buy our original magazines themselves. To pay us a visit, please click on the link in the description. Enjoy. On October 10th, 1935, Fred Dunn, Dick Walsh, Kerry Logan, and Cliff Boone carried out the robbery of an armored car outside Muncie in Delaware County, seizing $75,000 in bills and 4 gold bars. The robbery turned violent, leaving Logan and 2 guards injured. The trio fled to a hideout, a sharecropper's house south of Muncie, where they buried the stolen money in an elm grove. In an attempt to silence Logan, fearing his testimony, the other 3 robbers returned to the jail and killed him. However, Logan had already confessed, prompting law enforcement to set a trap for the bandits upon their return to the farm. A confrontation ensued, resulting in the deaths of Dunn and Walsh, while Boone sustained critical injuries. In his delirium during surgery, Boone revealed that the money was buried in 3 different spots within the elm grove. He succumbed to his wounds the following day without regaining consciousness. Despite extensive searches by state investigators and local police, the buried treasure remained elusive. Interestingly, historical accounts reveal similar tales of lawlessness in the region. In the 1860s, gold mining activities were documented in Carroll County, while Newton County was infested with notorious prairie pirates during the 1850s. These criminals often targeted travelers, using various tactics such as ambushes at covered bridges and shooting horses to incapacitate their victims. Many of these unfortunate individuals met grim fates, being either stabbed, bludgeoned, or disposed of in shallow graves or streams. The legacy of these lawless times lives on in local folklore, with tales of hidden caches of bandit loot rumored to exist at various sites throughout Newton County. During the era of Prohibition, a bustling and notorious nightclub thrived on Route 131, where it intersected with Silver Creek in Clark County, southern Indiana. It served as a rendezvous point for a motley crew of gamblers, bootleggers, and gangsters stretching from Cleveland to Chicago and beyond. Various racketeers utilized it as a hub for settling scores with their truck drivers. Near this establishment, numerous tales speak of money caches buried by those drivers of illicit whiskey trucks. In the year 1921 in New York City, George Dutch Anderson and Gerald Chapman orchestrated the daring robbery of a mail truck, yielding a staggering $1,424,129, with a mere fraction of it in cash. Opting not to offload the securities at a considerable loss, the 2 outlaws journeyed to Muncie, located in Delaware County, where they exchanged only $100,000 worth of them for cash. Their return journey was marred by capture, leading to each receiving a lengthy sentence of 25 years in the Atlanta penitentiary. Despite Chapman's subsequent escape, Anderson too fled, seeking refuge on a farm outside Muncie, where he perpetrated a gruesome act, murdering the farm's owners, Mr. and Mrs. Ben House, and incinerating their dwelling with their remains inside. Anderson's life met a violent end in Michigan shortly thereafter, while Chapman faced the gallows on April 5, 1926. The fate of the nearly $900,000 in remaining securities from the heist remains a mystery, strongly speculated to have been concealed alongside some of the cash near the aforementioned farm. Given Chapman and Anderson's urban background, it's improbable they strayed far from the farmhouse, suggesting the money likely remains buried in close proximity. Legend has it that infamous bank robber John Dillinger occasionally visited an acquaintance who owned a farm near Cedar Lake in Lake County. It's rumored he buried proceeds from the Indianapolis bank robbery on that very farm. Following multiple heists, Dillinger embarked on solo nocturnal excursions south of Chicago, presumably carrying ill-gotten gains. While speculation abounds that he stashed currency at his father's residence in Mooresville, thorough searches conducted by government agents and locals have yielded naught. Thus, the mystery of the hidden loot persists, entwined with the shadowy lore of clandestine activities and unsolved crimes. Dillinger likely deceived others into believing he visited his father's home, but in reality, he only traveled as far as Cedar Lake to his friend's farm. Given that only a small fraction, around $25,000, of the $1 million Dillinger amassed from various robberies has been found, it could be beneficial to search the area around Cedar Lake. Kettle Rock, located in Martin County, earned its name from its resemblance to a large kettle carved into the solid rock of a sandstone cliff. This kettle, believed to be crafted by an ancient civilization, features a bored hole leading to a cavern below, possibly used for smelting ores in ancient times. Evidence suggests that lead, possibly hidden by indigenous people, was found in the cavern beneath the kettle, although the exact location of the ore source remains unknown. In the years before World War II, as criminal gangs disbanded, some outlaws purchased farms northwest of Lafayette in Tippecanoe County, aiming to appear respectable. Rumors abound of large sums of money buried on these farms to evade detection by government agents and taxes. Despite being relatively unknown to treasure hunters, newspapers in the 1930s listed the locations of these outlaw-owned farms. An article from the Indianapolis News in 1902 confirms the existence of a silver mine near Round Top in Floyd County, reportedly discovered by Captain Phelps before the Pigeon Roost Massacre in 1812. However, despite searches in Floyd and Clark counties, the mine has never been found. The Missouri, once among the largest packet ships of its time, suffered a devastating steamboat explosion above the mouth of Green River in Vanderburgh County on January 20, 1866. During a race with the sidewheeler Dictator, survivors were rescued by a passing steamer bound for Cincinnati, leaving the wreck deserted and submerged up to the hurricane deck. In the wreckage, we discovered the captain's wife, steam-scalded and submerged in her bed, whom we promptly attended to. Beneath the debris of the office, we recovered the safe, containing a substantial sum of money. Everything else was left to the mercy of the waves. The vessel, aside from its cargo valued at over $100,000, was so extensively damaged that any efforts to salvage it were abandoned. The explosion occurred in the Ohio River near Evansville. Gold Creek, located south of Brooklyn in Morgan County, experienced a gold rush in the early 1900s. Reports from an engineer conducting an analysis painted the area as a potential second Klondike. A company was established offering 3 million shares to the public. Prospectors eagerly purchased stock and descended upon the creek in search of riches. However, the average yield from the creek amounted to a mere 25 cents a day, leading to the swift demise of the gold rush. Despite this, the gold deposited by glaciers remains in the creek, prompting speculation that with the current price of gold, it may still be worthwhile to pan there. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to read the original article or purchase the magazine from which it was taken, please check out our website, truetalesofburiedtreasure.com.